You're not either.
Certain ways. I mean, I started without getting a formal education in comics, let's put it that way.
I don't think any of us have had a formal education. I
Well,
think nowadays you can get one because they
yeah,
which
but I
is
guess what I
crazy.
mean is like you guys grew up reading comics.
Yeah.
We did.
I mean,
We're a
I
little
sort
nerdier,
of
I
fell in
think.
love with like
That's true.
Harvey Pekar and Crumb in high school, and that was what inspired me.
By growing up, you mean we aged.
What?
We aged.
You don't want to say that we actually matured.
Pretty mature.
Distinction.
So, no, I didn't know any of these guys until we started the studio back in April.
You know me.
I mean, except for Dean. I've known Dean since 2000-ish, around the time I did my first comic strip, so I haven't been doing comics very long. I got involved in this comic book called High Horse with some buddies of mine. And we started in 2000 or 2001, and we put out 4 issues. The very first issue is totally sold out, so I don't have it. And then we got picked up by Alternative Comics, and we did this big, thick issue with a bunch of guest artists. And Andries Arp did the beautiful cover. And then, unfortunately, Andries kind of got so famous that we stopped doing High Horse right when we had a publisher. So, but that's okay. And then I just started doing editorial illustration after that for a while. And I've been doing that, I've been doing illustration off and on since '95. And then it had been a really long time since I'd done any comics. When I got back in touch with Dean recently, we were talking about finding a studio space to share. And then it turned out he had all these guys from Activate all ready to rent a place. So whoever, I guess it was Tim, ran across this space. And so that's how it happened. So I'm working on a proposal for a graphic novel right now that is, well, it's sort of a story about a woman's search for love, and it talks a lot about queer relationships, and she dates kind of the whole spectrum of gender. So at one point she dates a female to male transsexual, and that's this character. So that's my particular challenge in this job, is to try to draw that in between. And then what else? I was lucky enough to be included in this, one of the next projects of Harvey Pekar. I'm going to be drawing a story for that.
Ah, nice.
Which is very exciting. And what else? What else? I just had a kid's book come out that I illustrated about bar and bat mitzvahs. So I'm kind of all over the map right now.
Yeah.
Just doing, doing things as they come along. Yeah, I find it hard to juggle stuff, period. I really, it's like I get involved in one thing and I just want to work on that.
Yeah.
So one of my goals in coming here is to sort of maybe learn from these guys how to organize my time better. I mean, I know Dean is better at like kind of working on these two or three projects simultaneously. Simon's working on like 5 or something. So I really need to learn how to do that.
But you know what's cool about, for instance, talking to you about the project you're working on, is I'm reteaching myself some of the rules that I talked to you about. And of course you start to learn how to break them, but then it's just really good to give myself like a reminder, like, oh, that's right, I forgot. Like, this is probably where the caption should go when you're figuring out the layout of the page, or where the eye,
Right, how to
moves
draw
around.
that.
Well, you get so used to approaching your pages in your own way. And then when you see somebody else, they've got a slightly different method. Their thumbnails are a different size, or they go straight to roughs on the board, or whatever they're doing. And you're like, wow, that's interesting. And I'll just sort of quietly get up and walk around behind Tim and watch him draw. Or there's...
We all do that.
Everybody's got a, well...
Everybody walks behind Tim.
Well, with good reason. But, I mean, but the point is that, we all...
And he's such a prima donna.
We get says the...
I keep stealing all his layouts because his layouts are phenomenal.
Oh man.
And you can just publish these. I mean, it's incredible.
What's the blue marker?
I ran out of black, that's all.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a
Doesn't feel that
highlight
way though,
thing,
right?
but it looks really cool. It looks like it's, you know,
Look at that. That's just a layout. I'm like, that's done.
yeah.
And then he redraws it and ranks it. It's just amazing.
Yeah, the reason I do that is because I like to capture the spontaneity of thumbnails, and I'm not very successful at it all the time. As you can see, I think these are kind of stiff, but maybe other people see it as not being so stiff. Sometimes I draw thumbnails that are small, but
Yeah.
those are helpful because that's just how it's going to look.
You got that
Or-
thumbnail still for the
Yeah. If you were here, you would have seen that.
Thanks. Yeah, this is called Jack the Night Stalker for Moonstone Comics, so I'll give them a plug. I do things like this, and I do humorous work for Nickelodeon and Mad,
And the pet sitter, don't forget.
and the Pet Sitter from Activate. I think we all do something for Activate except Joan. Yeah, Pet Sitter was
Pet
an
Sitter for
experiment where I actually wrote a small synopsis, and I thought it would last 20, 30 pages, and the characters started doing things on their own. I don't know if you read it. You read all
I
the
have
stuff.
read not all of it, but
Okay.
you know.
The characters just started taking on a life of their own, and it was originally supposed to be about the pet sitter, but I think
It's gone somewhere.
the other
completely
characters have
different.
taken over the strip. And it should end about 12 pages, hopefully.
So you said you originally had it for 20 pages, and now where's it at?
Right now it's like 50 pages. Yeah.